Hi, so this is Trehalbo. I'm going to be doing some videos. Shut up. I'm going to be doing some videos to supplement Thinker's videos on YouTube. This is by no means a replacement, since Thinker is the one who has been putting all of the work into doing basically all of the work. So if you want some real Lantern content, go ahead and check out their video, but I'll be posting a couple of supplements here and there, just because it's fun, I guess. I should have a link in to their channel in the description, but if I don't, because I forget, then their YouTube name is Randall Thompson. Also, you can probably find a link to their YouTube by going on the MTG Salvation forums and clicking on the link to their YouTube channel. Anyway, let's get started. So this is my current build of Lantern. It's exactly the same as my in real life build, except for one difference. I'm testing out Tezzeret Agent of Bolas as a replacement for mechanized production. Now, I like mechanized production. Mechanized production is hard. It was recently released. It has a new frame and it looks beautiful. Also, it says you win the game on it, and I really like those words. But I'm afraid that it might be just a slower version of Tezzeret. So, I mean, mechanized production is vulnerable to artifact removal. Tezzeret is vulnerable to Pithing Needle and Leyline of Sanctity, and not having enough artifacts on the battlefield. But we'll see about that. Anyway, this match is versus Burn. I went 2-1 in this match. I won the match. And these are starting hands. Oh, wow. This is a completely different match, actually. No, this isn't a different match. This is the same one. But I'm going to show this match anyway, because I'm pretty sure this person just gives up right away. I went from Stirrings here because I noticed that they didn't have blue mana in their opener, and they were probably relying on Stirrings to get that blue mana. They've got a pretty slow start. They were probably planning on beginning with Early Disruption in the form of Path to Exile, leading into Sky Spawner, leading into Smasher. Didn't work out for them. Okay, so my next turn is spent doing Stirrings into double Bobble, because I didn't really find anything with Stirrings, but I did find another Bobble, and I was figuring, it's another Bobble. It'll give me another turn. It'll give me another draw step. That can't hurt. Now here I name Eldrazi Displacer. Probably not the best thing to name so early in the game. I probably should have named Engineered Explosives instead, because they do main deck a 1 Engineered Explosives typically. Oh, and look at that. There it is. So cute. But I luck into a Ghoul-Caller's Bell. I'm not usually that lucky, you know. And I take the Engineered Explosives. And then land Bridge. And then look at their top deck. And they leave the game. Well, I guess this is special then. I completely forgot about this game, so it looks like this would be a 1-0 in my favor versus Bantdrazi, and 2-0 in my favor versus Burn. This is the Burn match starting up here. Okay, so versus Burn, opening hands, lots of Boros Charms. Pretty sure that gets mold. Yeah. More reasonable. 3 lands, 3 spells, and my opener, which I decided to keep. I figured, hey, I can turn 1 Thoughtseize into turn 1 2 Lantern, or turn 1 Lantern into turn 2 Thoughtseize. Turn 1 Lantern, reveals Burn. More Burn. Happy Burn. into Swifty. Okay. So here I have a bit of a dilemma. I'm drawing Abrupt Decay, and I've only got one colored source, really. I have a swamp coming up, but I'm going to take pain if I use that Spire of Industry. Currently, I am running a 3-2 split of Spire and a Glimmervoid, Glimmervoid being the 3 and Spire being the 2, but in due time, I'll probably switch over to a 4-1 split. The pain really adds up quickly. And here, just figured Atarka's Command is, yes, it's more expensive, but it also has the life gain effect, and it has the pump effect. So it would really represent an additional 4 damage, not just an additional 3. And if I remember correctly, I do not, yeah, I don't bell there, because I really want that swamp. Although in retrospect, I probably should have belled, because Atarka's Command is nasty. Right, taking the damage, taking the damage. Now, in this particular interaction, I'm not prioritizing, if I remember correctly, I don't prioritize landing bridge. Yeah, I don't land bridge here. Now, here's the thing. Activating Bloodstained Mire, I should not have said okay, because that's giving out extra information. On his turn, on their turn, because I don't know their gender, on their turn, the priority goes AP, NAP order, AppNap. Active player, non-active player. So it is currently non-combo's turn. Not combo should have taken priority on their upkeep, passed, then I would have passed as well, and it would have led immediately to their draw step. But I did give them an additional information saying that they were okay to draw, and that meant that when they received priority on their upkeep, they were able to activate Bloodstained Mire. These are tiny, tiny edges, but they really do come in handy in the professional setting. And they're digging for something. Okay. Alright, and if I remember correctly, I do pull some tricky things. No, it's not on this one. They pass priority, and again, I did that same thing. No responses. I should have asked if they were passing priority. And I'm not sure why they didn't cast Atarka's Command there. So here, I believe the correct play would have been Atarka's Command. Okay, that's fine. Waiting is fine. But then they should have put Bloodstained Mire into the battlefield instead of the Sacred Foundry. That just left it wide open for me to land my bridge. I'll take an additional one from Swiftsphere, but at this point, I'm really starting to claw my way back. Now here, I probably should have put Ghost Quarter on Bloodstained Mire. Reasoning for that is it would have forced a crack. Although, it didn't really matter since they had a dead card on top of their deck anyway. And I'm going to be drawing a Pixis here. Now here, I probably should not have Ghost Quartered my own Ghost Quarter. It's kind of a dumb thing to do since I had a Pixis on top of my deck. And I really need to I really need to get draw effects. Not draw effects. I really need to get mill effects. So I really needed a Pixis, basically. And it was on top of my deck, so I should have just grabbed it. Oh yeah, also, I run 2 basics. Really comes in handy for things like this, which occasionally is handy. This goes on for some time. Just draw go, take the Eidolon, draw go. And this person does not give up a while, and honestly I don't blame them. Burn has a lot of inevitability. Now, here, I grab fair, because I didn't see anything else that I wanted to take, but then I immediately pop it. Reason for this is, at this point, an additional mill rock is more important than the life gain. And I forgot to tap my lands, but I tap them in a second. There we go. And at this point, the game is essentially over. I've got 4 mill rocks to play. He thought that Shredder was Bell. We've got 4 mill rocks in play, now 5. And even if they have 10 runners in a row, I can handle that. And I have a little bit of a buffer on my life. And they concede pretty close to here. Pretty sure that it's once I draw that 4th Shredder that they concede. Yeah, I draw the Shredder and they concede. Okay, well, game 2. Now, I'm going to show you my typical sideboard plan. So, when sideboarding, I'll typically take out my Surgicals, my Abrupt Decay, my Thoughtseize, and my Pithing Needles, keeping in keeping in maximum mill. That's important. They have a lot of inevitability. And I'll bring in Welding Jars, Leyline of Sanctity, Spell Skites, and my Nature's Claim. Now, what'll happen with this is Nature's Claim serves 2 purposes. Nature's Claim will get rid of Eidolon at the Great Revel if I need it to be gone, and it will also gain me life if I need to at the cost of one of my permanents. That's fine. It's burn. Life total matters. So, this is my typical game plan against burn. And game 2. Opening hands. One land hand, Spire of Industry. No colored spells at all. Doesn't matter. Ensnaring Bridge, Lantern, and Mill Rocks in the opening hand. And Spellskite. I'd say this is a pretty good opening hand. And they go into bolts, Rift Bolt, and I go first turn Lantern. And they got a Helix on top, but I can't do anything about that. And at this point I have no information on their opening hand. So, take the 3, they draw Helix. At this point it's best to cut them off of spells as opposed to lands. So, I cast Boar Arm as a sorcery, that's fine. Now here, I'm in a bit of an interesting predicament. They've got Eidolon of the Great Revel on top. At this point, I was really fearing an Eidolon, so them tapping out for Boros Charm instead of Eidolon tells me they don't have any in their hand, which Eidolon is the #1 problem that burn presents. And a resolved Eidolon needs to be taken care of immediately, or else it'll just take over the game. Now, I've got a unique predicament here. What I could do is I could cast Shredder into Eidolon. I could cast Shredder, or I could cast Pixis. I knew he didn't have an Eidolon because he would have cast it if he had it. So, I will take Pixis, if I remember correctly. I don't need the IOK anyway, Because at this point, unless they have crap tons of Boros Charms, they're not going to be killing me anytime soon. If I remember correctly, I saw them take a land. Now they've got a land on top of their deck. So, I could go Ruins, Opal into Shredder, or I could go Ruins, Opal into Spellskite. And I elect to go Ruins, Opal into Spellskite since there's no immediate pressure to mess with their top deck. Also, I don't know if this would help anyone out, but when I typically play, I will treat my mill rocks as creatures. So most people will do creatures top row, artifacts, enchantments, supporting things middle row, lands bottom row. But I do the opposite way, kind of an opposite. I will do mill rocks top row, supporting cards, including creatures, middle row, and then lands bottom row. Now here again, no immediate pressure on the top decks, so I just put out middle rocks at my leisure. I don't think this person has much experience in this matchup. And yeah, at this point, I know that they can't win. At least not with what they have in hand. So I'm just going to try and dig for consistency here. Now, here is an interesting interaction. I know that they have this Lightning Helix in hand because I saw them draw it, if I remember correctly. And I fumble with the Mox Opal there. We have a little bit of a conversation about that. And here's the interesting predicament, which is again why I want to go down to 1 Spire of Industry and not 2. I really want that Leyline of Sanctity. I really want it. But I also don't want a Tarkus Command. And the Spire of Industry costs 1 life to use. So, using that, I would be taking 3 damage from the Helix, 3 damage from a Tarkus Command, 1 damage from Spire of Industry. I'm dead. The only thing that saves me here is that Spellskite, which would leave me at exactly 1 life. Oh, and also another fun thing, Eidolon is on top. So, lots of pressure everywhere. And on the upkeep, I believe I asked them if they want to disrupt the life gain from Inventor's Fair. It's a courtesy, and it does actually need to be acknowledged, because I can't just gain life out of nowhere. And I think long and hard about what drawing this Leyline of Sanctity will do, and I completely forget about Spellskite for a little bit. And then I remember Spellskite's in the battlefield, and then I draw it. Leaving Ghost Quarter up, because Ghost Quarter can be activated by itself. Now, this is the moment of vulnerability. They did not decide to target me with Lightning Helix, and I honestly think they should have. And that would kill me, and that would kill me, and that would definitely kill me. Well, not definitely, but it would be a pain in the ass. And that does nothing, because Searing Blaze targets both the player and the creature, unlike Searing Blood, which is much different. And at this point, the game is locked up. Leyline and Bridge out feels amazing. And I have Infernal Tutor on top of my deck, which I believe I used to fetch another mill rock. So, yeah, fetch another mill. And game goes on like this for some time, and then they recognize that there's no way they're getting out of 4 mill rocks, Leyline, Bridge, Spellskite, and that's game.